Hi everybody, welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I'm Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. So sorry I'm late. I went walking around the lake and then you can see from my flushed face that I worked hard. So took a quick shower, charged my phone, and here I am, 5:30, sharing Extraordinary Floral. I'm going to actually go down already because unfortunately I poked myself in the eye and you'll just appreciate it. So I'm going to flip up to flip down. Thank you everybody for joining me. I'm so excited. I did the scrapbooking workshop this weekend and that was so much fun. I actually have ordered just about every scrapbook kit that is out there now, along with some of the ones that I have. I'm going to be going to the Creating for Christ retreat in Nashville in August during the beginning of my vacation. And I'm going to take those kits along with me, and Michelle Salchow and I are going to work on our scrapbooking together. She promised to help me because she's more of an expert than I am. Anyway, so Extraordinary Floral. Let's talk about it. It actually is, oh, did I bring, yeah, my son said, get everything ready and then you won't have to go back and get anything. But the thing I forgot was the washi tape. Anyway, I'll find it. I will find it. But anyway, the roll of washi tape is $15. Found it. I put it in the wrong bin. I did have it here. Okay, so the roll of washi tape is $15. I have probably made 20 or 30 pieces with this already, and there's still so much left. There's two patterns on it. There's kind of a purple, and the leaves tend to be a little bit more blue-green. And then, I don't want to unroll it, but I'm going to show you one. I ended up having class today, and our class was this, of course. And I have a piece of it ready to roll out and to show you. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll cut it with the Extraordinary Floral die, which is back in stock. I think the die is $28 before tax and shipping. Anyway, this is the first one I rolled out. You can see that this is more purple and blue-green. This strip of paper is 3 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. If you do 3 1/4 by 11, it'll be the entire length of your paper, and you'll get both patterns, and you can cut them out in 2 swipes of the die. The die is fabulous. It's just one die. It cuts out both the stamps from the stamp set and the dies. You can see here, I'm going to show you how easy it is to line up. That's the die ready to go. And look at all those pieces you're going to get. So many fabulous pieces. There's also a stamp though, and the stamp has the same, so you can color them as you'd like. So maybe you want to do it Christmas colors. I'm thinking that I'd love it if they came out with a Christmas washi tape. I am hoping that maybe next week we'll see it. I don't know when demonstrators can actually see the pre-order stuff or the new catalog, kind of preview the new catalog. I know we can't order until next week. But anyway, 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is the purple. I have here a red one ready to go. So this is the red pattern. And hopefully it still has sticky because I've stuck it everywhere trying to keep it intact to show you how to apply it. It's a little bit more red and pink, and when you apply it to the cardstock, the white cardstock, and I have to say, I haven't tried applying it to any other color. I'm sure there are ways to do it, but what you're going to do is lay this down, and before you cement it down, make sure that the wrinkles are out. Somebody recommended using a gift card or a credit card. I prefer not to use a credit card because I'll lose it. You know me. It's so funny. Just like that. That went on really, really smooth. Did you see that? There's not really a wrinkle in here, except right at the beginning. I have a tiny one right there when I first laid it down and then started, before I even used the credit card, gift card. Anyway, this is my favorite, the reds and pinks. I like that more than the purples. Believe it or not, even though I think Petunia Pop is one of my favorite colors, I still think I like this one better. So what we're going to do is die cut this now. And I'm actually going to die cut not the red one. I'm going to die cut the purple one because I have so many swipes. I have so many cards that I've made already. Because of the style I've made, I have enough of my red flowers, but I need more to make today's card with the purple flowers. So I have here my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Yes, it's going to work with the mini. I cut a piece of shelf liner today because I can't stand how my Stampin' Cut and Emboss always moves on me. So we're going to see if that helps a little bit. I have here my plate 1, and I'm going to do 2 plates of plate 2 to cut this. This is a normal sandwich. You do the same thing if you were using the bigger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I wanted to, well, let's just put it down and hope for the best. I wanted to have a piece of washi tape, but I think my washi tape is stuck to something because guess what? It's not here. I had it all ready to go. But anyway, I'm going to put this down here and I'm going to line up. I don't know if you can see that. See how well that lines up so perfectly. And I am going to get a piece of washi tape. I really don't want to take the chance that it's not going to work well and it's going to move on me. Okay, here's another piece that I have ready to go. I'm going to tape it right down there, both to the paper and to my plate. Sandwich it, and we're going to just run this through and hope for the best now that I've told you how easy it is. I really like my bigger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine much better than the little. I don't feel like I have control over the little, and I feel like I'm always going to break the handle, like it's not quite tight enough, just because it's a mini. It's just meant to do mini work, and nothing I usually do is mini. Okay, so look at this, and I'm going to give you a tip for this. Here I have my pieces. Let me get rid of the washi tape for a second. When I cut my pieces, I'm putting them in 2 separate clear envelopes or little containers or whatever you want to do. This is my red bag. This is my purple bag, and you can see there's significantly less purple pieces. It's actually the leaves that I needed from the purple pieces more than the flowers today, believe it or not. So we're going to figure out what we need. But anyway, this is our piece. Look at this. They just come right out of there, and this is what you're left with. I suppose you could sponge a background if you really wanted to. Lay these next to each other and sponge a background if you wanted. I don't know what to do with all that excess. I'm probably just going to throw it, just like you guys probably will, because the last thing I need to be doing is keeping extra pieces around. That's how I got into this craft room mess in the first place, right? So much stuff. Okay. So if you're joining me, thank you. We're doing Extraordinary Flora today. I'm not looking at it, so I don't know if you've joined. I'm just going to keep welcoming you every once in a while. Today is gorgeous here. It is 78 degrees. I just walked the Lake Quannapowitt in Wakefield, which is about 2.5 miles from here for me. It's a 3-mile walk if you do it around the lake, but part of it is in traffic, and I really don't like the traffic. So what do you think I do? I go down to the area and stay to the side that doesn't have the traffic, and then I backtrack and do more and come back, and I ended up doing more than the lake. But it was a good time and beautiful. Okay, so I've got my pieces. We're going to get ready to build our card now. I've got most of the pieces. Like I said, I have to figure out what we're going to do, which pieces I need for the purple card. But this is the first card. This was one of the cards that I got in a swap that I was in. This was Kelly Atchison's card, except I altered it. She had it, I don't remember what she was on. I don't remember that she was on gold. I think I did the gold, but she had a piece of black cardstock that was embossed with white, which was very stunning. But I kind of wanted to bring the purple together, so I altered it. And instead, I now have this congratulations stamped in Petunia Pop. Let's build this card and talk a little bit more about it. I have my thick basic white base, 5.5 by 8.5 inches. You know what? I didn't start with the right one. We're not going to do the purple card I'm going to change this card up. Because I didn't have enough purple pieces when I was cutting, I actually have used this and changed this to red. So I've got my pieces already set aside, I forgot. So what we're going to do though is keep it generally the same. So here is my card, and then wait and see what we're going to do instead. Instead of Petunia Pop for our background, we are going to pop it up and out with Poppy Parade. So I'm going to change my theme to red flowers and stamp it in red and have mostly the red background, okay? So 5.5 by 8.5 inches. I scored it at 4 1/4. This is the thick basic white. Don't ever use your regular basic white for your card base unless you're going to put a couple of layers on the front and on the inside to make it stable. That's why we have our thick basic white cardstock. Here I'm going to use a basic white layer, a regular basic white layer that's meant for layering. This is 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and I have embossed it right to the edge with the Glass and Gardens embossing folder. This one is sold out. I think it's supposed to be coming back this week though. There's 2 embossing folders. They're both mini embossing folders, so you could do it with your mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This one has flowers and roses. The other one has more of like a glass blocks type of pattern. I can't explain it better than that. But anyway, they're both beautiful. This one I'm bringing right to the edge. You're going to see where I made the card that I made for the swap, and I brought it over a little bit more to the middle. Okay, so let's make this card. We are going to hopefully have glue here. Yep, I've got a good glue here. What I'm going to do first is attach this so I don't lose it. You know me and my layers. All of a sudden I can't find anything. So I'm going to add best glue I have in the house, I think. The rest of them, I keep using them until there's nothing left of them, and instead I have like 15 bottles that have a drop left, if I'm lucky. The next thing I'm going to do is layer on my Poppy Parade. This Poppy Parade piece is 3 3/8 by 1 7/8. And that is going to layer nicely behind this Textured Notes rectangle that I've already die cut. So this is a little bit smaller than that. What is that? 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. So this is slightly larger than that by about 1/8 of an inch. I mean, it's pretty scant, the margin. I'm going to attach that. I really don't need to do any stamping, so I don't mind attaching this yet. The stamping is going to come on my cardstock, my strip there. The rest is just building it up. Okay, that's going to be going there. The next thing I have is a strip of gold foil. This gold foil is, I do know, is 5/8. I don't have to measure that. I remember cutting them. 5/8 by 1 3/4. It's less than my strip of basic white cardstock, which is 1/2 inch. And you're going to see we're going to layer it, and then we're going to angle the corners. So let me do that right now. I'm going to stamp that in Poppy Parade. We're going to stamp, we could say, with love or congratulations. I think this time I am going to say, oh, and what did I use this hello from? I think I had a hello too. I think this was actually supposed to be part of the, I think this is part of the Beautiful Motifs bundle. You could easily stamp that too. That's not what I meant to stamp though. We want to stamp with love. So I've got a brand new Poppy Parade ink pad here. And if you're wondering why, I have to stand up to do this. If you're wondering why I have a new ink pad, it's because both my Poppy Parade and my pumpkin pie have looked like they have a disease, like a serious disease. This is not going to do me a lot of good because this is dry. Anyway, hopefully that works. Let me get my scissors here. I don't know where my snips are. We'll do my scissors, and we're just going to angle the 2 corners. And I'm going to angle them the same direction. And yes, I've got plenty of room, but I want to make sure it overhangs my gold a little bit. And what I'm going to do is attach my cardstock right to the gold piece. And be careful when you're attaching this. I'm going to use my silicone mat here because it does want to slide away. Doesn't that remind you of a song? Slip, sliding away. Slip, sliding away. Anyway, enough singing. Just make sure it's dry before you attach it because it could still move. And then you don't notice it and all of a sudden your piece has moved and it's adhered in the wrong place. So I'm going to pop up this right in the middle on the right side. I've got some new dimensionals, which is good because these are not so great. I'm going to go just like right there. Oh, I forgot. It's not attached yet. Okay. So essentially what I'm going to tell you is you can do just about anything with this card. You could see right now I said it's got the purple or the red. You could stamp it and you could change the colors. You could change your background and do it black so that it's stunning. Whatever you wanted. You could do different embossing folders behind here, different sentiments, changes the look for everything. Okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do, and I've already got my pieces here. See, I've already set them aside. So the red pieces tend to have a green that is a little bit more, I don't know, what do you want to say, limey. Not quite, the other ones, see, these are more blue-green. So these are a little bit more limey, which goes a little bit better with the red and pink. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and hopefully this is enough, I'm just going to, and I could pop them up if I wanted to. Why don't I pop them up? There's no reason why I can't. I'm going to pop up this one. Probably needs, after watching the scrapbooking workshop with Karen Pedersen this weekend, she kind of warned everybody that if people do the dimensionals the way she does it, dimensionals are going to go on back order very, very soon. She uses so many. I have to say I don't use as many. Okay, let's do one more dimensional here on this one. And this is just a red flower with the two different color leaves. And we're going to put that right about there. Let's move it over a little bit, right there. And then I've got my green leaves. So you see here, we've got the bluish green. Here we're going to use the more green leaves. And I think I'm going to pop them up. There is a dimensional on the back of that because I think I meant to use it and then decided it was the wrong color. So let me grab another mini dimensional out of here. Don't tell me. You know, it's so funny. I usually never have any large dimensionals, and this time I'm running low on mini dimensionals. Okay, so we're going to tuck this under here, and we're just going to put it just like right there. And there we go. I'd say that's beautiful, but we're going to do better. We're going to add some sequins. That was the finishing touch on all of the cards. I would recommend you use take your pick tool. Whoa, I didn't mean to have that much putty out for my take your pick tool. I think I just changed the putty refill. But it is going to help me pick up my sequins. So I'm going to pick up a large one to start with. And let's put that down right there. What I would do is, you could put a glue dot behind here if you want to, but that's a lot of work. I'm going to instead just put a dot of regular glue here. And there we go. Let's pick up, let's see, I think this is a mini. So this mini, just like on the card here to my left, is going to go right there. You know what? I think I could probably grab this is probably, let's see. I guess I have to set it down. I was going to say maybe, you know what? I'm going to take this. No, I guess I'm going to leave it there. I was going to do another Oh, there's even here's another mini. I don't know. Let's do another mini up here since I have it there. I was going to take a dot of that glue and move it, but since it sat down and adhered, whoops, so well. Okay, this one doesn't really have enough glue. That's why I used a lot more glue on the other ones. Let's find a medium size. Let's see, is that a medium? Nope, that's a mini. I don't know. That looks like a medium size. It comes in like 3, small, medium, and large, I think. I'm gonna put one there. Just like that. And let's find one more medium. I think that's a medium right there. See how easy it is to kind of attach it, hopefully. Keep it with the refill. It works really well. Okay, so here's the last one. I'm gonna put it there. This is gonna be kind of a poll. When I put my sequins on, I always put them the top side up. But I got a card from somebody, and you're actually going to see this card. This card was from Judy Tuttle, and her sequins were face down. So how do you like to adhere your sequins? Face up or face down? Just wondering. What do you think about this? Isn't it pretty? So pretty and so easy, and that took me just a couple of minutes. So there we go. Card number 1 is done. And see how different it is just by doing it with a red? Okay, let's move on to card number 2. So this one is going to be the purple card. And this is what I'm talking about. This card was made by Judy Tuttle, and I absolutely adore this card. Like I said, I love Petunia Pop. Let me get my sequins out of the way before I spill them. I just love Petunia Pop, and she did such a good job. It's kind of funny. I picked Fresh Freesia, but you know what? You could even pick out some Blackberry Bliss if you really, really wanted to, I think. So I wonder if you could almost make it look fall-like. I don't know. Anyway, let's remake this card. This card is Petunia Pop. 5.5 by 8.5 again. So the same as the last one. I think all of these are 5.5 by 8.5. Then we have our inside, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Because if it's colored, it gets an insert. If it is not colored, if it's the white, basic white, it's thick and it doesn't need to have an insert. Okay. This is our 4 by 5 1/4 layer 1, and this one is embossed with the pressed flowers. I kind of put it right in between the flowers, if you saw the embossing folder. This is one of our standard embossing folders. Last year, I think just about every embossing folder that came out was a hybrid or, you know, a 3D embossing folder, much thicker. And with that, you do the base, and then you do the embossing folder, and then you do the gray plate. While with the standard, what you're going to do is the base, and then you're going to sandwich it between 2 plates. So just in case you've forgotten how to emboss with the standard embossing folder, since we had so many 3D embossing folders, you're going to put it between 2 of the plate 2s that are the clear plates. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this to the front again because I can. We're not doing any ribbon around it or anything. Let's attach this. I like to use multi-purpose glue. Some other people love snail. I'm definitely a green glue person. Okay, next we have here one of our party pennants. This is the Party Banners dies. They were new this year in the annual catalog. The best way to tell how to measure these, I've found out, is to measure the straight edge at the top. So this straight edge happens to be 2.5 inches. So if you want to repeat it with the same banner, it's the 2.5 inch straight edge at the top that you're going to do. And I love what Judy did here. I never think to do that, but she took a little, well, what would you say? Do you remember the commercial when we were growing up? Take a bite out of crime. And there was, It was just something about see something, say something, essentially, but it was years and years ago. Anyway, okay, so she took a little notch out of there, and I'm thinking it's like a 1/4 inch punch, but this could be even 3/8, the one that I'm using. You could use the dies that are part of the Party Banners bundle, but it's just another thing to make sure that you do it straight. So I prefer instead to use this little. I'm going to just take out a little bit more than a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to line it up with the top edge. So that's going to give me, there we go. You hear my Christmas music? Year round, because I love Christmas year round. And in case you're wondering, I think I saw on my app today that it's 157 days until Christmas, in case you're wondering. Okay, I've got linen thread here. Almost looks like she used the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, but we're going to use linen thread because that's what I gave everybody as part of this class. And what we're going to do is wrap it around. We're going to wrap it around 3 times. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do is hopefully successfully, guys know I haven't done a Facebook Live for so many weeks, I might not even know how to tie a bow anymore. I mean, seriously. Between my retreat and working 2 Mondays in a row, I have not been around to do my Facebook Live. There we go. And I like to tie it while it's still on the spool and then snip it off afterwards. Then I can, I don't know, always, it's funny. I just got my move calories and I haven't been moving my watch, which, by the way, since we're talking nonsense, I'm going to pop this banner up with dimensionals. Today, I hit 101 days in a row, and I mean in a row. I'm going to use the dimensional to kind of tack down the linen thread in case it's not quite tight. Okay, so just watch me as I'm doing that. I'm just tacking it down a little bit. Today was 101 days in a row of walking 10,000 steps in a day. And I am down 8 pounds since I've started this, or really started keeping track. So I'm very excited, and I will continue. And my son has joined me. He kind of kinked his knee when he was running yesterday, but he's been joining me too, which has been a lot of fun. Okay, we are going to attach this near the top. We're going to center it left and right and kind of near the top, just like that. And now I can build it up with my purple flowers. So let's see, I think I had some purple flowers already picked out, and all I need to do is get the leaves. So here we need this blue-green leaf, and we are going to need this blue-green leaf, and I think everything else I have. Oh, I think I have this one already. I think I just needed that leaf. Okay, so let me dump these out. I've got these handy-dandy little bags to keep all the pieces straight. Okay. Oh, I forgot the big purple flower. Where is that? Where is the big purple flower? It's the one that has both of these. I need that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is start decorating my card. Let me get my dimensionals because we're going to pop it up again. At least some of it. This one, I think I'm going to use both mini and big dimensionals, just like that. It looks like I can attach this kind of right here and over the top, just like that. Then what I'm going to do is tuck this under, and I'll glue this directly. I'm probably talking too much, or maybe I'm not talking enough, I don't know. But I'm so glad that everybody's joining me. Whether you're joining me now or on the replay, that's up to you. I like replays because you can fast forward through the boring parts. You know, when somebody's coloring or something, I want to say, you know, I don't want to watch you color. I want to see what colors you use, but I really don't want to watch you color. So if you guys do that, I don't blame you. this is how we're going to just attach this just under here, just like that. We're going to attach a flower here. We'll glue this directly, just like Judy did. Oh, and I've got too much glue, so I'm going to use my little flower to just get a little bit of glue there. And I'm going to attach that right down there. So we're going to go like that. And then let's do our sequins, because that's how easy this card is already. We're already to the sequin part. Oh, I forgot. We are going to stamp congratulations. I could also say with love. You could say anything that's a nice long sentiment. We're going to use Summer Splash, and we are going to stamp congratulations on this. I better stand up again, be over top of it, just like that. Beautiful, just like that. I'll dry this off on my bone dry chamois, just like that. Now, the one thing I do want to do is make this a banner. So what I'm going to do is fork this a little bit. So you just cut in the middle, just a little bit. And I'm going to cut corner to cut to the top of that cut, corner to the top of that cut. And all of a sudden, I've got this beautiful banner, so to speak. And then I'll put a sequin at the end there. So we're going to just pop up the outside. I don't want to pop up the inside because it's already popped up on the party banner. So what I like to do is pop up the outside so that it kind of lays flat. And I'm going to put some glue on the end here, okay? Does that make sense? Let's do it like this. Just like that. Beautiful. Hopefully that's straight. Okay, now we're going to add our sequins again. So let's get our Take Your Pick tool again. Definitely need the Take Your Pick tool. Let me close my ink while I look for my Take Your Pick tool. Here it is. Okay, so I am going to, this time, because I tend to do my things face up, I'm going to do my sequin the other way. I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's whatever you prefer, okay? I've got a little one, and we're going to just put the little one up there. Just a little dab will do ya. You don't need too much. If you do too much, it's going to go sliding all over the place. That's probably a little bit more than I wanted. Let's lay that down flat with our spatula end. Let's see. We're going to do a medium. No, that's small. I don't know. That kind of looks medium, doesn't it? No, that looks large. Well, you know what? It's going to be whatever I pick up next. Okay, I think we're doing a large one again. We're going to do that right here on the edge. That'll be a nice distraction from the seam of the sentiment. We'll put that there. Now we're going to do a little one, and that one is going to be over here, just like that. Maybe I used all of my medium sequins already. This looks like a good, this looks like several good. No, they all look small. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm going to try one more. Maybe it's my imagination that there's medium. Nope, that kind of looks medium. Okay, we're going to put this down here in the flower bed, just like Judy did. And we're going to attach this. And voila, that's the front of our card. But, and I didn't do that with my other one. This one, we can add some. Hopefully I don't lose it. Here, let me do this without disrupting my sequins. What you might want to do is take one of your other flowers And we're going to put that right on the inside, right down in the corner. Just like that. We'll glue it down. And this is another good way to add a great accent, a fun accent to the insides of your cards. So maybe it's not for, it has nothing to do with your card front, but maybe in other cards that you're making, if you want to write a message, you can just accent it with all these little flowers that you have left, because you're going to have so many left. So what do you think? Cute, huh? So easy too. Okay, that's card number 2. Let's get on to card number 3. This card was mine. I do have to confess though, it's changed from when I sent it as the swap. When I did it, I love white on white, and that's very similar to what, this is very similar to what Kelly Atchison did with her purple card. This was Kelly's card. She did the white base and then the white. It looks so elegant, so, I don't know, elegant. Let me tell you a little bit about this card. So this card, like I said before, I, again, used the Glass and Gardens embossing folder, but I moved it more into the middle. I could have moved it even more than that. It's up to you, however you want it. I have to say, I kind of like this side too. Joan came to class today and she made a card with this direction, and it's debossed, and that was kind of cool too. So use whichever side that you like. I'll stick with this one because, I don't know, I wish it was a little higher to the top, but instead the pattern is going off instead of being continuous through the whole thing. Let me just attach this anyway. I'm going to attach this to my Poppy Parade front. Now, if for people that got my swap, I also did it in Fresh Freesia. And you could have done that too. So, okay, that's Poppy Parade. And what we are going to use, do I have the pieces here? Oh boy, I don't have a piece here to do it. We must have run out because there is no piece in my envelope. Okay, so let me tell you about this one. This is the meant to be hexagon, and for some reason it's not in my folder. So either it didn't get cut or somebody got a double or whatever. So I'm going to just tell you what I did was I cut this hexagon, and point to point, this one is probably about, is it 2.5? It's probably 2 3/4 inches point to point. And then I just built it up with these red flowers. And much as it's kind of funny, this one actually flipped because I know that I always do mine. Anyway, we're just going to add the red flowers around the edges. You just kind of build it up. So some are popped up, some are right on the edge. This one, I put the dimensional, for the whole hexagon is popped up. I stamped it in Poppy Parade. The hexagon is popped up, and then I did just like I did with this banner here, where I put the dimensional under the edge that isn't popped up to give it more support. I did that on this one, and then glued it directly to the folder, tucking it under the flowers. So you kind of set down your flowers here, and then you just kind of tuck the greenery and the other pieces into it as you'd like. So that's what we did here. And then of course the sequins again. And once again, well, this one I guess I couldn't make up my mind because I have both a sequin up and a sequin down. So that is my prerogative, I guess. But so tell me which card you like best. Tell me which pattern you like best. Do you like the red flowers better, or do you like the purple flowers, or do you your third choice is both. So the 1/2 inch strips, if you do your 4 by 5 1/4 inch white inserts, save the 1/2 inch strips and use them for all your sentiments. Stampin' Up doesn't have a huge amount of sentiments that are that small, but they do have some, so it's worth saving. I do if I'm cutting them myself. Sorry, something is stuck to it right there. Okay. Anyway, the sequins, you get so many. I can't remember how much they are. They might be $7.50, but I have been using sequins out of here and they're still more than enough. So iridescent dots look really pretty with this. I've done that. You could do anything, any of our in color dots, whatever you want. So that's it for today. I'm so glad you joined me. I'm going to stand up and flip around and say goodbye to you because hopefully my face isn't as red. There we go. I had a great time today. I can't wait to see you guys again. Make comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know which one you like best. And who knows, somebody's comment might get a card or two of these in the mail. See you soon. Hopefully next week. Bye.